Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the JRS Cars YouTube channel. In today's video, we have one of the most awaited launches of 2021, the all-new Skoda Kushaq. You guys would have seen hundreds of videos on this car on the internet. In today's video, we're going to be debunking some myths on the Skoda Kushaq. Is it really worth the price Skoda asking for it? How about its styling? Is the interior comfortable? Does it have enough features to take down the competition? All this and more in this video. Let's begin straight away.
A massive thank you to Gurudev Skoda for giving me this Skoda Kushaq for review. Gurudev Skoda is one of the most established Skoda dealerships here in Chennai, and if you do plan to buy any Skoda product, do check them out. The links will be in the description below.
Straight away starting with styling. So the Skoda Kushaq is styled like a typical Skoda. We have the butterfly grille up front and the slender pair of LED headlights. These headlights are called the Skoda Crystal Lighting, really very bright, and you also have this DRL element over here, giving the Kushaq a look of class. We get fog lights over here and this bumper cladding, giving the car a sporty look. Many people think that the Skoda Kushaq looks a bit small when you compare it to the competition of the Creta and the Seltos. However, taking a look at the dimensions, this car is pretty much equal to that car, and it even has a bigger wheelbase, giving more interior space. We'll check that out in a bit, but first let's move to the side profile of this car. Moving to the side, we have these massive 17-inch wheels with this beautiful pattern. Looks really very nice, gives the car a look of class. You also have the Skoda badging over here, so people know that this is a Skoda SUV. We have a body line which runs across the entire car, breaking up the mass and giving this car a very elegant look. We also have this chrome window line which runs across the entire vehicle, giving the vehicle a look of class. We have functional roof rails over here and the all-important sunroof. Moving to the rear of the Kushaq, it retains its classy and elegant look over here. We have these really beautiful looking tail lights with this diamond-like effect inside them, and that's also what's causing the flickering you see on the screen over there. I'll put up pics over here to see how it looks in real life. We have the Kushaq lettering over here, as well as a big chrome garnish running across the entire boot lid. We have Skoda written in full over here for that premium look. We have a rear wiper, 3 parking sensors, and this skid plate over here, giving the Kushaq a bit of an off-roady look as well. Let's really check out the boot space. The boot, as you guys can see, has a very impressive 385 liters of space, which is more than enough for a weekend getaway anyway. We also have a 16-inch space saver spare wheel over here, so you will not be left over here without a spare wheel in the Kushaq. And yes, before you guys ask me, this vehicle does have the typical Skoda build quality. One more thing before I forget, guys, this being the top-end style variant, we get a black color shark fin antenna. However, the Active and Ambition do get regular antenna style antennas. Before we check out the interiors of the Kushaq, let's check out the heart of the beast, the 1-liter 3-cylinder engine. Opening the bonnet, and there we have it, guys, the 1-liter 3-cylinder engine. This engine is pretty much similar to what you get in the Rapid, and in this car produces 115 bhp and 178 Nm of peak torque. A lot of you think a 3-cylinder engine is going to be really rattly and shaky. Let's find out right now. There we have it, guys. This is a 3-cylinder engine, and as you guys can see, the car's idling quite normally. There's no excessive rattling or shaking. Sounds quite good as well. Let's now check out the all-important rear seat space of the Skoda Kushaq. Before we do that, We have seen a lot of reviews talking about the scratchy plastics over here, and is this vehicle a true Skoda? Let me ask you a question. When you get in a car, are you going to be sitting and scratching the plastic all time long? Oh no. The main important thing is your touch points, where your skin touches, like the door pads, the handle. These things should feel high quality, and in this car, it is really high quality. You also get a door pocket over here, and let's now check out the all important rear seat space now. Alright guys, sitting inside the Skoda Kushaq, wait for this. Yes, the typical thud from a Skoda car. Alright guys, so talking about the rear seat experience of this car, I'm 6 foot tall, we have Nikhil in the front who's 6 foot 2, the driving seat is set to his driving position, and as you guys can see, I have ample space over here. Enough knee room, enough headroom, under the support too is not too bad. The seat cushion is really very cushiony and soft, and I really feel I can sit here for a long time while traveling in this car. And do note, I'm not a backseat person, so that coming from me is quite a big thing. We also have a drop-down center armrest with 2 cup holders as well. And like I said, this is really a very comfortable and premium place to be. All the points you touch are well padded and cushioned, and you get rear AC vents with 2 USB-Cs over here. And yeah, this pretty much sums up the rear seat experience of the Skoda Kushaq. Let's now jump to the driver's seat. Alright guys, the driver's seat of the Skoda Kushaq. Before we get started, I've spoken many times in my videos about this 2-spoke steering wheel, and I'm glad to report it does feel really nice to hold. It looks good, it feels good in the hand. You have this knurled finish over here, feels really very premium to use as well. Talking about the dashboard, yes, you have the typical committed driving position of a Skoda VW group car. The dashboard is upright, you get this chrome line over here, you get this black finish over here. Really a mix of colors, looks very well. So talking about the center control stack, you have your 2 AC vents over here. You have these buttons over here, and these are for the ventilated seats. Yes, the Kushaq has AC seats, which really cool your bottom on a hot day, and that's something really good. You also have this automatic climate control panel over here, and as you guys can see, this is the touchscreen panel. So you touch it like this, tap it like that to adjust the fan speed as well as the temperature. So this can take a bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, you have no issue. You have a wireless charging pad for your phone over here, and again 2 USB-Cs over here. You have the automatic gear lever because this is the automatic version of the Kushaq. We'll talk more about that when we get driving. You have a 12-volt charging socket over here, an adjustable armrest, storage as well, 2 cup holders, and the all-important sunroof. Yes, the Skoda Kushaq does have a proper sunroof. It's quite good. You also get an auto-dimming inside rear view mirror and cabin lights as well. Talking about the instrument cluster, you get your typical Skoda analog dials as well as a multifunction display in the center. So guys, I've shown you all about the Kushaq, the exterior and the interior, as well as debunk some myths. Let's now get driving to see how the Kushaq really drives on the road.
Alright guys, so finally driving the Skoda Kushaq. To make this review and driving experience as informative to all of you watching right now, I'm going to split it into 2 parts, the city driving experience and the highway driving experience. Let's now start with the city driving experience. Straight away starting with the steering. Now the steering feels really good to hold on. This is a leather wrap steering wheel, feels really posh and premium. The steering feels really light, and maneuvering through traffic is really easy with this car. Taking a U-turn, the car takes it into a single shot, which shows that Skoda is really focused on this car's in-city drivability and made this car really drivable in the city limits. Talking about the engine and gearbox, now this is a familiar unit, a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine with a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox.
Paddle shifters are quite responsive.
In the city, this vehicle really feels punchy and performance is really good. Yes, there is a bit of turbo lag under 2000 RPM. However, using the steering motor paddle shifters or the Tiptronic function, a quick downshift will get you going quite well. Do note, I am performing this test with 4 people in the car plus AC. So a regular 3-cylinder engine would really struggle with this load, but in the city, performance is quite good in the Kushaq. Talking about the ride and handling balance, the Kushaq rides really very well. There are many reviews online saying that the Kushaq has a bit of a stiff edge, and yes, that is true, only if you hit bumps really fast. However, take the bumps slow and steady like how you would in normal driving conditions, and the Kushaq responds really very well. The suspension absorbs the bumps very silently, and very little of the rough road surface filter into the cabin. Sharp bumps catch the car out, that's true. However, for the most part, the Kushaq has a really pliant ride quality. Taking speed breakers too is absolutely no issue because the Kushaq at heart does have a good ground clearance, and the suspension too has good travel, never bottoming out unless of course you go really mad over speed breakers. You have great visibility all around. The front windshield gives a good view of what's ahead of you. The mirrors too offer good coverage of what's behind you, and while parking this car you do have the assistance of a reverse parking camera and 3 reverse sensors.
which do a good job in making you park the car very effortlessly. Overall, the Kushaq offers a very great city driving experience, and this particular engine option with this automatic gearbox means that city driving is going to be effortless and a breeze. The 1.0 TSI is really at home in the city and always loves being driven at a moderate pace. Let's get onto the highway to see how this 1 litre engine performs on the open road. Alright guys, so pushing the Kushaq on the highway. Talking about the steering feel, well, the steering that felt really light at city speeds does weigh up pretty well at high speeds. However, this does not have the old heft and real proper steering feel of older Skodas. As you guys can see, straight line stability is good and body control too is quite decent. Let's now talk about the 1 litre TSI heart of the Skoda Kushaq. This engine absolutely loves to be revved. As you guys can see, I am pushing it all the way to 6000 RPM red line and the engine pulls cleanly all the way to the red line. Performance is decent, and yes, it does take a bit of time to gather speed, but once you do, cruising between 80 to 120 is absolutely no issue with this engine. Many people thought that the 1 litre TSI is going to struggle in a big vehicle like the Kushaq, weighing 1.1 tons, but I'm happy to report this engine is actually quite adequate for this vehicle. Yes, you don't have exhilarating performance that's going to put a massive smile on your face. Performance is decent and you definitely can go places with the Kushaq. If you are an enthusiast, I recommend you go for the 1.5 TSI, as you will definitely be happy with that engine, and that engine is an absolute firecracker of a powerhouse. The 1.0 TSI in this automatic form is a perfect city companion and is one that will also do highway duties as well. Overall, it's best if you drive a notch down, let the engine relax, go to 6th gear, cruise at around 80 to 100. That's the sweet spot of the engine where you're going to get the maximum efficiency and at the same time you don't strain the engine as well. If you really want to enjoy driving, go for the 1.5 TSI. That is a 150 bhp engine with 250 Nm of peak torque, and I'm sure that engine is really going to be a blast and really appeal to enthusiasts. Skoda has done a good job by bringing both the engine options. So the 1.0 TSI is for the regular average driver, whereas the 1.5 TSI is for the real enthusiast. Moving on to the ride and handling balance on the highway. The ride is good, it's pliant, the car gives you enough confidence to drive the car at a moderate pace. However, lane changes at 120 don't give the same feel as what you would expect from a Skoda. But then again, like I mentioned, this is the 1.0 TSI, a lightweight car with a lightweight engine. I'm sure the 1.5 TSI with a little more power and a little more weight will do wonders and make the Kushaq an even better handler on the highway. Moving on to pricing. Now Skoda has priced the Kushaq quite attractively for the 1.0 TSI versions, but the 1.5 TSI versions are priced a bit too high. The reason for that is because the 1.5 TSI is a fully imported engine and gearbox combination, and that's what makes the 1.5 TSI more expensive. Talking about the competition, the Hyundai Creta and the Kia Seltos, the two main Korean rivals, yes, those vehicles cannot touch the Kushaq when it comes to dynamics. However, they are much more feature laden, and at the end of the day, the real enthusiast who values a car for its dynamic prowess, interior space and the ultimate safety of everybody inside must go with the Kushaq, and a person who just wants a city car to show off a bit, maybe he or she can go for the Creta or the Seltos. Moving on to service, many people think that the Skoda is going to be really expensive on service. However, over the past few years, the brand director Mr. Zach Hollis has been working tirelessly to transform Skoda from an expensive and difficult to maintain brand to a brand which is a household name with easier sales and after sales service networks. The Skoda Kushaq is available with a multitude of extended warranty packages and service packages, so it really depends on you. If you feel you're going to keep the car for a really long time, it's definitely worth investing in one of these service packages to save on maintenance in the long run. And so guys, that's my review of the Skoda Kushaq. Definitely a world-class product from Skoda for the Indian market. Yes, some of the interior plastics and quality are not up to the levels of what you would expect from a Skoda, but the dynamics is still there, the engine performance is still there, interior comfort and quality is still there where you need it, and overall this is really a simply clever product. And so guys, that's my review of the Skoda Kushaq. A car given the name of a king. Does it live up to its name? Well, yes. I think the Skoda Kushaq is definitely worthy of its name, and I definitely think the segment is heating up with the arrival of the Kushaq. And with that guys, a massive thank you to Gurudev Skoda for giving me this Skoda Kushaq for review. Do check them out if you're in the market for any Skoda, be it the Kushaq, the Rapid or the new Octavia. These guys have it all. So guys, that's my review of the Skoda Kushaq. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like if you liked it. Take a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video really soon. Take care. Bye bye. Drive safe.